welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we welcome Philip Chong from Quincy Asian Resources. The city's getting ready to celebrate the Lunar New Year Festival later on this month. We'll learn all about it. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, brilliant sunshine out there. It's 36 degrees right now, sunny and pretty mild today with a high around 40 this afternoon. A bit of a brisk wind. Temperatures this evening will drop into the upper 20s. The clouds will move in. That could set the stage for some snow showers tomorrow, mostly south and over the Cape and Islands, but a few could sneak in here to the Quincy area as well. Won't accumulate much, but it'll be rather wintry with highs tomorrow into the mid-30s. Things start to clear out on Wednesday. Sun and clouds, highs Wednesday into the upper 30s. Then the warming trend begins on Thursday with lots of sunshine. Highs Thursday into the lower 40s. We could see 50 degrees or better by Saturday with lots of sunshine and dry weather. Right now, though, sunshine, 36 degrees here in Quincy. Checking out news for you today, the new commissioner of the Department of Conservation and Recreation here in Massachusetts has got a long list of items to address right here in Quincy. State Representative Tacky Cham of Quincy says he met with Brian Arrigo recently to explain some of the priorities that need attention.
Light posts that are still missing. So, those who may not be aware, National Grid controlled the light posts in Quincy. National Grid transferred those light posts to DCR. And as a result, I asked the commissioner, hey, you guys got capacity. We need these things fixed or replaced or new ones put up. So we got, some pictures to show him of look, this is a problem. And if you're not from the city, and even you are from the city, driving in Freshborough Park can be hazardous because of the lack of lighting. We talked about the general beach maintenance. We had a full-time employee down here for many years, very much in limbo exactly how they're going to staff the beaches in terms of a point of contact. We should not be calling the commissioner directly. We should be able to have point of contacts locally, as well as work with the Friends organizations, as well as the yacht clubs. Talk about dredging. We've discussed this before a few times. And, we've got about $1.3 million-ish cash for this project. It's going to cost much more than $1.3 million.
Chan says there are also other state issues in Quincy, including flooding along Blacks Creek, the rehabilitation of the pier at Squantum Point Park, and access to the Blue Hills Reservation. Arrigo is the former mayor of Revere. He was appointed DCR commissioner by Governor Maura Healey. 3 Quincy elementary schools are in line for some pretty major upgrades after the City Council recently approved funding for the projects. City Council President Ian Kane says the money is coming from federal pandemic relief funds.
A couple of pieces of appropriation for the Mass School Building Authority, ARP funding, for some roofs and some boiler replacements at 3 elementary schools in the city. So there's a roof replacement for Montclair and Wollaston schools, Ward 3, and then Parker Elementary School as well, which I think is Ward 1. But yeah, those are obviously needed things. So happy that those were all unanimous, happy to move those forward.
All 3 of those projects were approved unanimously at the last Quincy City Council meeting. Tonight, the Quincy City Council will take up the issue of whether Fox Rock Properties will be allowed to build a new medical complex and retail buildings on the site of the former Ross parking garage in Quincy Center. The land disposition agreement would allow for the construction of a 110,000 square foot medical complex to be operated by Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, along with a 515 space parking garage and 2 retail buildings. Now, the deal would also provide Fox Rock with a 40-year property tax exemption for the medical building. The planning board has already approved of the land disposition agreement, and Fox Rock has said they hope to have the project completed sometime in 2027. Quincy City Clerk's office is busy preparing for the Super Tuesday presidential primary election on March 5th. City Clerk Nicole Crispo encourages any voter who wants to vote by mail to let them know soon.
Yes, we're gearing up for the presidential primary in March. If you haven't done so, please do return the card provided by the Secretary of State's office if you do wish to vote by mail. We have a little under 4,000 on file here, and as soon as we get the ballots, we will put those in the mail to everyone who requests a ballot by mail.
Crispo says there will also be early voting for the presidential primary happening from February 24th through March 1st at Quincy City Hall. Well, congratulations going out to some students in the Quincy Public Schools music programs for their recent accomplishments. Choir and band students from both Quincy and North Quincy high schools were recently selected to participate in the Massachusetts Music Educators Association Senior District and All-Star Music Festivals. Those festivals took place at Milton High School last month, featuring high school musicians from 30 schools from across the state. Quincy High School choir student Matthew Hollitz and Quincy High band student Owen Veith were also selected to perform at the upcoming association All-State Music Festival in March. That'll be happening at Symphony Hall in Boston. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, Philip Chong from Quincy Asian Resources will be joining us for an update. That's next. Welcome back. The 36th annual Quincy Lunar New Year Festival is coming up later this month. It's February 18th at noon at North Quincy High School. Once again, Quincy Asian Resources CEO, President Philip Chong is here to tell us about that and a lot more that's going on at Quarry these days. Happy New Year, Philip.
Happy New Year, Joe.
Thanks for coming over. Really
Thank you so
appreciate
much for
the
having me.
opportunity. I know
Yes.
it's one of the busiest times of the year probably for Quarry, right?
Very
now?
busy.
Yeah.
Yes.
How were the holidays at Quarry before we talk about what's coming up in the new year?
Everything's good. So we have a nice break, holidays break for the staff, and in December, and starting in January, we're just all busy getting back together. So all the work that we're doing, so more and more impactful work, more access and options for the Asian immigrants community for our programs and services.
Yeah.
So very, very exciting.
Is it? I know it's the 36th annual Lunar New Year. Is it also the 36th year for Quarry? Do you know?
Spiritually, yes.
Really?
Spiritually,
Okay.
yes. It's 22 years.
22 years.
20. We formally founded 2001.
Okay.
Right after September 11 on
okay.
November 20th. So what's the math? You better than mine?
Yeah. Okay. So
but-
23 years this
yeah,
year. Then,
but the festival was started by the local community, the church, and the volunteers 36 years ago.
Wow.
So we continue the tradition when we first started Quarry in 2001, and since then it's been having it at the North Quincy High School.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Now, Quarry was undergoing kind of renovations downtown. Is that still happening, or are you back now?
we're working on that.
Okay.
We're working on that. So right now we are located in North Quincy.
Yes.
Right across from the North Quincy office. So we're still working on in terms of Quincy Central location.
Okay. Under renovations.
More to come. More to
oh,
come.
I can't wait to hear.
More to
Okay.
come.
Please let
Yes.
us know about that.
Yes, we'll do. We'll keep you posted.
Obviously, a lot in the news these days about the migrants coming to the state
Yes.
looking for work. I know that Quarry has been working on that long before this current crisis
Yes.
happened, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us about
So we started the Workforce Initiative 6-7 years ago when
Yeah.
I first started at Quarry. This is my 7 years. First Central Workforce partner was Brooks Brothers, and then Amazon came in about 3 years ago, and then Beth Israel Hospital, Boston College, Hilton Marriott, and recently CAMN. We have a partnership with the state and a local community-based organization in Randolph to provide hospitality and culinary arts workforce training. So we just complete the first cohort, and we have graduates that really enjoy the program, and one of them actually started working at CAMN full-time. So very exciting, very honored to be part of this.
Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
the governor has made a point of saying that to get these folks work authorizations is crucial to getting them out of the shelter situation. And,
Yes.
getting them going in their new
Yes.
lives here, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's very challenging.
How does one participate in the Quarry program? How does that happen?
Yes. So the program actually including English learning, math, and civic, and integrated with on-site workforce training.
Okay.
So it's a 10-week-long program
Okay.
that is a free program. They can sign up. It's about 5 to 6 hours, 4 times a week.
Okay.
So it's very intensive,
Pretty
very
intense.
laser focused. But they really learn a lot, especially in the workplace. They really being experienced, across areas. For example, at Kemen, they've been trained at the fish department, produce, meat. So they see the operation day to day.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them to transition and to succeed.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a launching point for them, right? I mean,
It is.
It gets them out. It doesn't necessarily mean that's where they're going to stay. That they may love it and work their way up there, but it could lead to other things as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. We have different options. We have different pathways. If they want to choose more focus on education, we have education pathway as well. We have different programs coming up. So working on launching a new program, workforce program, in partnership with Quincy College as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Last time we were here, we talked a little bit about the recent approval of your mental health counseling program.
Yes.
So how's that going?
It's also been challenging,
Yeah, really?
but doing very well.
Yeah. What's
so,
the challenge, Philip?
Finding bilingual clinician
Oh,
is not
okay.
easy, definitely. Especially it's everyone's looking for similar in terms of criteria.
I see.
So we got the license in January 2023, and we're going through the credentialing with all the health insurance for about 6-7 months. So last September, we fully approved by all insurance, including Mass Health.
It's amazing.
So we started the first client in September. So we have bilingual clinician, including psychiatrist, social worker, and psychologist. More to come, but definitely we want to create this platform to allow clinicians that really cultural and linguistic competent want to give back and serve the Asian and immigrants community in Quincy and South Shore area.
Okay. So how many do you need? I mean, ideally, how many would you like to have?
Keep that coming. Keep that coming.
No
Yes.
limit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's all about access.
Yeah.
So like what I said earlier, this year is all about expanding access for our integrated services for the Asian immigrants community.
Yeah.
The integration in terms of they can have access in health and wellness, literacy and workforce. So it's the options, it's the advocacy. So this is something that in our mission that we want to continue to push. Thank you for the partnership with the city, with Quincy Public School, with YMCA and Quincy College. So we're so grateful for all the support and collaboration.
Speaking of health and wellness, recently diabetes prevention program as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an honor. Quincy Asian Resources is one of the 22 nonprofit in the nation chosen by CDC on this health equity program. So Corey is tasked to push and promote the health equity for the Asian community in Massachusetts. So we're launching our first diabetes prevention program on February 27th.
Oh.
So more to come.
Okay.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
So many.
So many
So
things.
many.
And it's all happening right now at the North Quincy location, right?
Some of them North Quincy,
Yeah.
some of them in different areas
Oh, I
as
see.
well. So again, different options,
Yeah.
different locations, different in terms of schedules. So it's all about people can choose. So it's not only one. So
As a matter of fact, it's interstate. I mean, I know you have some services in Rhode Island and New York as well. right?
yes.
Yeah.
So we've been in Rhode Island since the Amazon. So
Yes.
this is our 3rd year in Rhode Island.
Wow.
New York was about 6 years ago.
Oh, that's that long ago.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
How many folks work for Quarry now, Philip? I mean, it must have grown by leaps and bounds since your 7 years in tenure.
It's many.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of the things is we want to provide the employment pathway for the immigrants.
Yeah.
That's why it's challenging. Every week there's a payroll.
Right.
So working hard on the payroll and stuff like that. But giving the hours for the immigrants, especially for our workforce programs, we provide about a few thousand hours per week for the immigrants workforce.
Yeah, that's
So,
incredible.
Yep.
And this whole staff of volunteers as well.
Some of them volunteer, some of them pay staff.
Yeah.
So yeah, but they believe in the mission. They like the culture.
Right.
They want to make a change.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the major initiatives is Lunar New Year.
Yes.
It's, as I mentioned, February 18th. Noontime is the start time at North Quincy High School.
Starting at 11. Starting at
11.
Noon is the ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Very good. So
Yes.
there's the information right there for folks. It is the Year of the Dragon this year. Tell me about the Year of the Dragon, Philip.
I think we both know about
Yes.
that. Do you want to share the joke?
No, I don't know.
It's one of the 12 Chinese zodiac.
Yes.
I was born on the Year of Dragon, so it's a symbol of strength, loyalty, and honor. So it's a great celebration. Different performances, food, vendors, really for the community to experience our culture and celebration and bring people together.
It symbolizes, this is right from your website now, symbolizing growth, prosperity, happiness, and abundance.
Definitely.
So
Yes.
that's all good things to look forward to.
It's all about the dragon. It's all about the dragon.
What will be happening that day? Tell us all about it.
So it's starting at 11
Okay.
o'clock at North Quincy High School.
Yep.
There are plenty of parking, but of course we encourage people to take the public transportation.
Certainly,
It's
yeah.
between 11 and 3 p.m.
Yep.
12 o'clock is the opening ceremony with the line dance with all the honorable guests. There's some speeches, sponsors, and the culture performance will be starting right after. So, so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does this symbolize in Chinese culture or Asian culture?
It's one of the biggest events.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because it's not just in China, right? It's
it's
other Asian countries
lots
as
of
well.
Asian.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of the biggest events and a festival.
Yes.
So lots of red pockets for the kids, especially for the married couple. We'll give the red pockets to the young generation in terms of prosperity. It's a
Yes.
symbol of good luck and good fortune.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's also called a spring festival, is that right?
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Why
so
is that?
because it's the new year.
Okay.
So the winter they consider is before the spring. So spring, summer, fall, and winter.
I see. Okay.
So they call it Spring Festival.
Sure.
Yeah.
How has the festival itself changed over the years, Philip?
Getting older. Getting older. But also more and more people coming.
Yes.
So the changes definitely when we had the pandemic, we were forced to really shut down, not able to have it in person, but to continue the spirit, we had the virtual.
Yes.
About a few years ago, we restarted the in person. We saw lots of people coming. So I think there's a continued involvement in terms of the people, the faces, but at the same time, the spirit is still there. The support is still there. So we're so grateful with all the support from the city, from our presenting sponsor, South Coast Community Health Center, so all the supporters, and volunteers and our staff.
Yeah. Have you found it's become more mainstream in the community? You know,
Yes, yes,
attracting
actually.
a diverse culture now?
I think surrounding cities and towns also start having their own festivals,
Yes.
like Lunar New Year Festival
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So
Braintree's having one. I
yeah,
believe.
Braintree has
Yeah.
one just last weekend, just
Okay.
past weekend. So it's a great thing. It's all about access. One more options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So same thing has happened, I know, with August Moon as well, right?
Yes.
Other communities have also
Yes.
begun their. Braintree is another good example
Braintree's
of that.
own,
They
yes.
had their first one last year.
Yes,
Yeah.
not that far, but
Right.
one more option to go.
Yeah.
So if you miss this one, you can come to the
There's
18th.
always a celebration to come to.
Definitely. So always something to do. It's a great to live in Quincy and South Shore area. So I got why people not going to Boston now. I really do. The traffic, the parking. Quincy is good.
As a matter of fact, a lot of folks probably from Boston will come to the Quincy
Definitely.
Lunar New Year Festival,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
How many folks do you expect to have?
Usually it's like thousands, like close to 10. I think.
10,000 people.
10,000
in
people.
a 4 or 5 hour period, yeah.
Yes, a lot of traffic.
Yes. Well, and a lot of preparation and then a lot of cleanup afterwards.
Lots of preparation, lots of cleanup, but we have a great volunteers, we have a great team. I want to thank our planning committee as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Please. You also are celebrating Lunar New Year in Providence, right?
Yes.
New York
New York City,
as well.
Providence, but Quincy is the biggest.
is the biggest.
Quincy is the biggest.
Really?
Yes.
Of
In terms of Corey celebration.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
so come one, come all.
Come on, come on.
It's free.
It's free,
Yeah.
and a lot of things to see, lots of people to meet, lots of food to try.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
And good fortune giving in the red pocket.
Yes, usually
Yes.
there's a dollar or two in those, right?
Yes, the
Okay.
God of fortune. Yes.
Very good. What's coming up for Corey later this year? I know you usually have events in the spring as well.
Yes, so we have a banquet this year. It's in May. It's a celebration of immigrant workforce,
Oh.
and August is the August Moon Festival as well. So,
Okay. And do you still do your banquet, your annual community banquet as well?
yes.
Okay. And
So-
the annual meeting as well?
Annual meeting in November.
In November.
So, yep, November 20th that week. So banquet it will be in May. Yep.
Okay. What do you see some of the major challenges for Corey in 2024, Philip? that-
2024.
Yeah.
So, getting more clinician, bilingual
Yes.
clinician. I think the economy and everything's going on. So, so observation and, but most important, really continue to provide support and care to the Asian and immigrants community for people in Quincy. So. No matter what's going on outside the world, I think the culture, the spirit, and the togetherness in the city, the people, is the most important thing. So this is what we have seen for the last 2 decades, that being the community, serving the people. So no matter what changes, I mean, I definitely, when you ask that question, I have a little hesitation, don't get me wrong, because we know what's going on in the world.
Yes.
Right? So it's
Yeah.
quite unsettling. But the good thing is we can always call Quincy home. So this is where we are. Yeah.
Well, I know Corey has responded to crises locally in the past, the pandemic, of course, the most recent one, food distribution,
yes.
the workforce training that you
Yes.
mentioned as well, even, you know, right down to knitting hats and gloves for folks.
Yes.
Will that continue, that kind of outreach in the community?
Whatever kindness that we can show and,
Yeah.
and share with the community and people in need, we definitely will be on board.
Yes.
So, so a few years ago, when not actually recently, I was in my compartment, the glove compartment in the car,
Yeah.
and find the PPE, the mask that
Yep.
we produced a
Yep.
few years ago, and I saw that. I was like, that's what we did.
Mhm.
That's what we did.
Mhm.
So I asked myself, like, if this happen again, what we're gonna do? I think we're gonna just jump on board.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna roll up the sleeves, all hands on deck, and really see the situation. So, but we hope for the best. Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you come back to Quincy Center soon. Will that be
Yes.
this year, do you think?
We're working on that. Yes, yes, Joe.
Keeping it close to
That's
the
my
vest, I
plan.
see. Yeah.
But whether it's North Quincy or Quincy Center,
Doesn't matter.
So with our partnership, so clients can really access our services and programs in different satellite sites
Yes.
through our partnership. So
Okay.
those are the things that we want to create, that more agility for clients, that they don't only have North Quincy or Quincy Center to go.
Transportation's an issue for a lot of folks, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
especially after the pandemic, people
Yes.
is all about access.
Sure.
Yeah, Zoom.
Exactly. Yeah. We have a couple minutes left, but I wanted
Sure.
to talk a little bit
Let's-
more about
let's
your
talk.
partnership with the Quincy Public Schools.
Yes.
And how you're working with the next generation.
So we continue to have the support from the public school on the youth program. We have our mentorship program. It's called UNI Mentor. UNI Mentor. So it's the high school student mentoring the middle school
I see.
student.
Okay.
It's been successful. Continue. We also have a partnership with Walker, which is a behavioral health organization that providing, we call it Living Out Loud, is a project-based program to bring new immigrant students to learn about the new culture, transition to the school system as
Right.
well.
Yep.
So, so Quincy Public School being very supportive to us. We also have a big population for the high school student volunteer at our festivals. So those are one of the great opportunities for them because there's certain requirements that they have to give back and volunteers.
Yes.
So, so those 3 events that we have in Quincy every year is a great place for them to help support, to help build, plan. Sometimes they help to clean up.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all part of it, right?
Yes.
We've been putting up your website, your phone number. You're on social media, I know, as well,
Yes.
right? So folks should look for you there as well.
So look for that. Don't put my phone number, but I'm sure people
Just
can
the
find
office
me.
number.
Yes, just the office number. But people can find me, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Have a wonderful festival again this year.
Thank you, Joe.
And
Thank you.
thank you for coming by to share a little bit
Appreciate
with us. You're very welcome.
Yes.
Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It looks pretty nice. Lots of sunshine, pretty mild for this time of year, about 40 degrees. The clouds increase this evening. Lows drop off to the upper 20s. That could set the stage for some ocean effect snow showers tomorrow. Mostly the south coast and Cape and Islands, maybe a little bit around here as well, though, with highs in the mid-30s. And then we start a warming trend on Wednesday. Sun and clouds, upper 30s. Low 40s on Thursday, could be 50 or warmer by Friday and right through the weekend as well. Thanks again to Philip Chong for joining us here from Quincy Asian Resources.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Thanks to our crew and thank you for watching. Speaking of Friday, we'll get a Social Security Administration update from Kentia Torres. Hope you can join us for that. Meantime, it's our website anytime, qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.